the Aspen Valley Junior ROTC program we talked about. I'm still unclear as to who's making that follow-up. Are we gonna draft a formal letter to the?
That's what we agreed.
Great
we would do.
organization?
Make the recommendation to the Veterans Council to suggest that they.
So if I drafted it,
Invite them? We're inviting them to partake in the parade.
Tell them
we
if
want
they're
to ask them
interested
to
in
make an
participating.
invite because it's not our parade, right? Is what
That's
we
correct.
say.
exactly.
It's the Veterans Council Parade.
Right.
But if I do that, will you put your chairman stamp on it and send it off, or is
Yeah,
that?
hit it with the gavel. No problem.
Okay. Thanks.
Becky has my stamp if you need it.
That's it.
Okay, David?
Yeah, a couple quick things. First off, I wish Becky were still here. Maybe she'll be watching someday or she'll hear it on the thing. But I wanted to congratulate her on the letter from Maya that actually congratulated her on her participation in helping them to, I guess it actually ended out saving Maynard some money at the end, but Becky was specifically named in their letter, and I think it deserves some recommendation. Also, congratulations to everybody, including, most importantly, town meeting, who brought on the Green Communities Act for us, and the fact that that then led to our efforts to get now 2 straight years of grants that we wouldn't have gotten if the community hadn't supported the effort to go to green communities. And it just shows that that effort was indeed worthwhile for our town.
I lost a lot of nights over that.
What's that?
Thanks, I lost a lot of sleepless nights on working on that.
Has there been any progress in setting up a time to meet with special counsel?
Yeah, in
There has.
fact, we have a phone conversation with council for Thursday. Part of Chris and I's meeting was to discuss a follow-up meeting, when we can get that in, whether we have it at a selectmen meeting or if we have another dedicated meeting. So, I don't know what we want to do there, but it just literally, just kind of coordinating with him and just hearing from him at the end of last week, Friday.
Okay. The last comment is late today we received a document about, and this is probably something that I'll bring up when we have our meeting next Wednesday. But there was a notice of a procedural defect that we had in an article for town meeting. And, again, I don't want to lay blame, but this happens way too often that we get notified that something has gone wrong in one of our processes. And I don't know who the final person is. If it's council, there's way too many mistakes coming that way, and that has to be fixed. Because sooner or later, Maynard is going to be burned bigger than we want to be burned. And we can't not accept over and over issues coming back from the Attorney General saying, oh, you failed to do this. Here's another step you have to take before it's finalized. And that's something we really have to talk about as a board as to how we're going to fix that, because I don't want to put the community at risk on certain things of importance.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't a council issue. It's a posting, everything was done the way it should have been. The exception of we could not locate a date stamped legal notice that was date stamped and posted internally within the town hall building. We've saw notices before that date and after that date. We don't know why we couldn't locate a date stamp one to prove that it was posted, but it was legally advertised. It was certainly advertised and posted with the warrant. That we couldn't hold the paper up and show that we had a date stamped of that actual legal hearing prior to the meeting, despite the fact that it was advertised and it was in the newspaper and the notice was given, but we didn't have, so that was the procedural defect that they were referencing. Certainly wasn't a council issue at all.
Yeah,
but,
okay, well, again, I just want to make sure that
absolutely.
we strive
I
to
agree.
minimize those issues, because,
Yeah.
again, sooner or later will be a really big issue that comes back to bite us in the back end, and we cannot
Right.
afford that.
Could someone conceivably walk off with that posting?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So perhaps it's time to discuss a locked board.
We
with
have.
notices.
We are, yeah.
We have one coming.
Oh, thank goodness.
We voted that in.
I mean, there's nothing to
Last
prevent
meetings.
anybody that's disgruntled that left the meeting today and ripped it off. I mean, what they do is once they date stamp them, they put the notices up there. They collect them when they're no longer
So was the
valid.
public notice that they couldn't find a state stamped version of? Is that what the issue
Yeah.
was?
So we have the public notice, as I said, it was advertised in the.
But they were looking for the one that was physically
They
on.
were looking for the one for us to prove that it was physically posted, like in this building on our board. And we have a particular notice before the date of this and after. And the notice we have, a copy we have doesn't have a date stamp.
It's posted at 2 spots in the town too, correct?
It's posted at the police station as well.
That was there, but the one in town hall was not there?
Either one.
Yeah, neither, we don't have, we did nothing that had a date stamp.
Is there any way that the law allows for electronic, whether it be, those boards that flash meeting
Yeah.
held on whatever, that counts and that we can show that it was put up on certain, that has to be a physical document?
No, but one of the things we've done since this happened is the clerk's office is now scanning the date stamped documents.
Right.
That
That
will help.
happens.
So if it does get torn off the board or whatever, they've got, we have a color scanner. It's as good as the original in that sense, but it's got the legal stamp on it, which is what's important to the Attorney General. And in addition to that, the chairman already mentioned that we have a lock cabinet. We've actually had it for quite a while. We've been waiting for the rest of the lobby renovations to take place. Tomorrow morning, the display case will arrive for installation. So that'll be the first part. It'll take a few days, but it'll be there in a week or so.
Very good. All right, thank you.
Yeah, then that'll be, I mean, it's something that's probably long overdue anyway. As the keeper of records and the keeper of official meeting postings, they should be the only ones to be able to control what gets posted and gets posted on the board and removed from the board. And by having that in an official, I think it's that's the way a lot of communities have it anyway. So that'll be the official
Thank you.
in-house town hall posting location.
One last thing, I was trying to reach you personally, Kevin, last week as just an example of how response by town hall can have an impression on individuals. I knew nothing about this, but apparently my neighbor had written about some concerns he had about the street. And he wrote to you, I knew nothing about it, and he went on vacation. He said he came home from vacation and and he's called me specifically to commend you on this. And that's the things I talk about when I talk about customer service, because that particular resident now has such a positive impression on what is happening as far as your interest in his concern and your interest in his issue. And so thank you for that. And,
thank
you. I think
You
it
might
just...
not have do you call here?
I called you here, and you were in, I spoke to Stephanie, she said, oh, he just left, he's in his car. I called your cell phone on your car, let it ring, nobody picked up. It was your son's birthday, you had left?
Yes. He turned,
so
so it was.
Tried calling you
It
then,
was on July 16th.
so whatever the date
Yeah,
was.
he turned 6. Yeah, we had an evening dinner. I think I left at like 3. But if you call you might have my old cell number.
Oh, maybe I do.
So let me make sure you have the old one. You might have been calling the old one, because I would have at least saw that you had called.
Or get some guy answering, who the
Yeah.
hell are you?
Yeah, let me look at that, because I would have at least been able to see that you called.
Yes.
So, anyway, thank you. I appreciate that.
Jason?
In the interest of time, nothing.
Yay.
Well, we're already here, man. It's different.
Okay,
Thanks.
so that,
This other item, we were not going to have an executive session, but it just came up real quick. I think they're looking for an answer, or at least a feeling. I don't think it's something
Yeah, well, it has to do with,
put off, so.
because we can't do anything until October, they want to know if there's real interest or not.
Yeah, so it should be
no
clear.
executive session
No, we'll have one.
tonight?
Yeah.
Okay,
Should last about 5 minutes.
Okay.
that's fine.
We're already here, man.
So we need to end the first meeting, and we're not gonna rejoin the next meeting?
Yeah, so motion to convene an executive session, do a roll call vote.
Okay, motion to convene the executive session. What is the matter of?
Consider the purchase of real property.